I'm Allison Webster.
And I'm Valentina Pino.
And I'm Alexis Topier, and the title of our study is called Sleep Less, Remember Less, The Effects of Sleep on Working Memory, and we hope you enjoy. Cognitive abilities, such as the working memory, have many factors that affect its level of functioning. Working memory is concerned with immediate conscious perceptual and linguistic processing. An astonishing 65 million adults in the USA alone, about 36% of the population, suffers from poor sleep patterns. Things like waking up in the middle of the night, not being able to fall asleep, waking up before the sun rises, these are all examples of infuriating sleep issues that many Americans face. What many people don't realize is how this can affect the working memory performance the next day. Researchers such as Gradisar and Krauss have taken interest into this topic and studied the effects that sleep has on memory, finding that it does have an impact. Using the DIGITSPAN task, my group and I decided to further research the results of these studies by measuring the amount of sleep versus working memory. We hypothesized that we would find a positive correlation between sleep duration and working memory performance. Prior to the day of the task, participants were sent a consent form via email and asked to review, sign, and send it back to the researcher. They were also asked to keep track of their sleep the night before their scheduled study. The next day, participants filled out a sleep questionnaire which asked basic information such as name, age, and total time spent sleeping. At the time of their study, once on Zoom and debriefed, participants were asked to share their screen on Zoom and sent the link to the DIGITSPAN task, which requires the participants to recall a series of numbers in different orders. Participants were then asked to download the results and send them to the researcher via email. The researchers pulled out relevant data and input that information into an Excel sheet to be further analyzed.
Overall, most of the data we analyzed yielded no significant results. We worked to analyze many different aspects of performance on the DIGITSPAN task and correlated each to the amount of sleep each participant received. We only found significance in one comparison. The first graph shows the correlation between total amount of sleep and total percent of error on the DIGITSPAN task. Total amount of sleep in hours is on the x-axis, and total percent of error is on the y-axis. Total percent of error was the total prompts the participant got incorrect over the total prompts the participant received throughout the DIGITSPAN task. Based on our p-value and correlation coefficient, these variables resulted in a small negative correlation with no significance, suggesting no relationship between total amount slept and total percent of error on the DIGITSPAN task. However, the correlation between total amount slept and forward span maximum digit level contains significance. Total amount slept in hours is on the x-axis. Forward span maximum digit level is on the y-axis. Forward span maximum digit level was the highest level the participant got to on the forward span section of the DIGITSPAN task. This graph shows a statistically significant medium positive correlation between total amount slept and forward span maximum digit level, which suggests as sleep increases, so does performance on this portion of the task.
Overall, there was no correlation between the amount of sleep and working memory. Although we found a significant medium positive correlation between the amount of sleep and performance on the forward span max digit level, there was no sufficient evidence to support our hypothesis. Past studies does influence working memory. These studies examined effects of sleep deprivation rather than hours spent sleeping. Some researchers have used tasks such as the reading span task and the dual and back tasks, while we use the DIGITSPAN task. This could yield different results because each task has different measurements of memory. Another reason for the lack of relationship between working memory and sleep duration may have been methodological in nature. Using a virtual platform, some participants had unexpected results such as dogs barking, potential fire smells, and other apps opening while taking the task. If this study is replicated in the future, we would suggest that it be completed in person. This would allow a more environment that the virtual meeting did not permit. Other researchers have had sleeping pods or rooms where they can monitor what type of sleep their participants get. Including this in a replication of our study might allow more accurate measurements of their sleep and how this impacts memory. Further research is needed to evaluate the true significance sleep has on memory. Being able to establish a correlation between these two variables may better indicate how sleep duration can impact our working memory. This can allow individuals to implement better sleep schedules to enhance their memory, such as before an exam or important performances. We would like to thank our professor, Dr. Pinto Manella, and Westfield State for their support in our success.